It's time for the start of MARVELATHON. It is time for Team Scarlet Witch to show what we can do. Hi everyone, my name is Chloe, welcome back to my channel, thank you for being here today. Today's video is the start of a new weekly reading vlog. It is currently Monday the 30th of May. We have one more day left of the month, we've got tomorrow. I am currently reading Babel or Babel, it depends on where you're from, apparently is how you pronounce it. It's interesting that I looked up the sort of linguistics and pronunciation of this because it is a dark academia all about linguistics. It's R.F. Kuang's new book that is not due out till September, but I managed to get an arc of it, which I'm very, very excited about because I'm so excited for this book and I'm 25% in and I'm loving it so far. I've just said this in my last vlog, but basically it's dark academia that is very, very heavy on the academia. There is footnotes and interesting things about linguistics in it, and sometimes I feel like some of the information is going over my head, but not in a way that it's affecting my enjoyment, because the actual main storyline of it, like it's all to do with silverwork. The magic element in it is all to do with silver and language, and that part of it, and sort of the secret society type part of it, I'm very interested in. So yeah, really enjoying it so far, hoping to finish it tomorrow, but if not I might have to carry it over to the beginning of June. I'm also listening to the audiobook of Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. I'm liking this one, not quite as much. I preferred the first book in the series. I think it feels like the magical element of it was almost wrapped up a bit in the first one, so then it's taken a while for it to get restarted, and then that's kind of put some of the Romeo and Juliet love story part of it on hold as well, but I feel like it's all sort of kicking in again and now, so I should be finishing it tomorrow. I'm intrigued to see how it ends. I don't feel like she's going to go full-blown Romeo and Juliet ending. I think there's going to be a twist, but I'm intrigued to see what that twist is. And yeah, that is pretty much my updates at the minute. It's not really an update because it's just a rehash of what I just said at the end of my last vlog. But plans for this week, I have very little plans in terms of like social life this week. So last week I was obviously out and about a bit. I had a week off and I went on trips, places and things like that. This week I have none of those plans. I am off a lot at the weekend because it's bank holiday in the UK. It's the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, so we have got 2 days bank holiday at the end of the week. So it's Monday now. I'm working Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm also off next Monday, but that's for something else. But my parents are going away for the weekend. I am not. I did look at going to London again for the weekend because of course I did, but hotels are really expensive. So my plan is just to stay in the house, film a lot of things because obviously I've got my wrap up my haul and things like that to film, but also want to get a head start on other stuff for June as well. And then I'm just going to read a lot. There is a lot of sprints happening at the minute because MARVELATHON, I am a team captain for Team Scarlet Witch. I'll be doing sprints every Thursday in the month of June. Well, every Thursday apart from the last day, but I think Lisa's going to take over that day because I am going to be in London as per usual. But every other Thursday I will be doing sprints. We're also doing kick-off sprints on Wednesday on Lisa's channel. These will have all already happened when you're watching this, but basically the general plan for the month is that Jem is going to do Mondays, Lisa's going to do Tuesdays, I'm going to do Thursdays, Liv will do Fridays, although this week she's doing Saturday, and Becca will do Sunday. So there's constantly sprints, and I think one of the plans as well is that team captains are free, we can all kind of jump on each other's. So I'm going to be on sprints a lot, which is good because it means I can get a lot of reading done. So that is the plan. Lots and lots of reading. I want to get off to a really good start for Team Scarlet Witch. Okay, so I was just getting changed into my pyjamas and I put the pyjama top on and I heard this strange sound and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. So I stood up and I'm looking around my bed and trying to figure out where the sound was coming from. And then I felt something crawling down my arm and I realised that there was a bee inside my pyjama top. I am not okay right now. I've never moved so quickly as I did to remove the pyjama top, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I ran and got my mum and got her to remove the bee because I do not like things that can sting me. I especially do not like them when they are inside my clothes. I'm very stressed right now. How am I supposed to go back to reading now? What if there are more bees hiding inside my clothes? What if every item of clothing I put on for the rest of my life has a bee hiding inside it? I thought you guys needed to know about this. Hello. It is Tuesday evening. I thought I'd do a quick update before I go to sleep, although I'm probably not actually going to go to sleep soon, but I'll forget if I don't film this now. I've just been watching Lisa's Sprints and I thought I'd film it as I got to the end. I am 50% into Babel now, so I'm not going to finish this before the end of the month. I managed to finish Our Violent Ends. I think giving it 4 stars. It was a solid read. I still feel like the storyline with the monster and the sort of, it's almost like a pandemic storyline, but a mystical one. I still feel like that kind of went a bit strange because it felt like too much of it wrapped up in the first one, and then it was kind of, and it felt like an afterthought in this one. But I did appreciate a lot of the character stuff. I have mixed feelings about the ending, but I can't really explain why I've got mixed feelings about the ending because it will give spoilers. But yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued to see the next book because I can't remember exactly what it's called, something Lady Fortune, the next one. Anyway, it isn't actually the next one in the series, it's a new series, but it's set in the same world, and it's set, I want to say, like 5-6 years afterwards. So I'm intrigued to see where that goes, because that might end up making me like the ending more. I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, I finished that one, gave it 4 stars. I've been reading Babel, and I have been reading it all evening, and I've read like 20%, I think, tonight. But it is just a slow read. Nothing against the book. I'm really, really enjoying it. But it is just due to sort of the academic side of it and the linguistic side and things like that. It reads better reading it slowly. It's helping me to take it all in. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I feel like we're getting to the action now because it is a standalone, and it's about this and it's about the main character who goes to Oxford and is there for 4 years, and we're just at the end of the 3rd year, we're 50% in. So that to me would suggest that the second half of the book is the final year, and I think that's where everything's going to sort of kick into high gear. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But I'm going to try and read a bit more tonight, but otherwise I'll just be finishing it tomorrow. I'm not going to force myself to read it too quickly because I'm really enjoying this book. So far it's probably my favourite book I've read so far this year, so I'm not going to rush and ruin that reading experience just because I like the idea of completing books in the month that I start them. So yeah, I feel like I have other things to say, but I'm sure you're sick of me being a bit downbeat on here. So other than that, I've not done much. I now have the house to myself. I think I mentioned that my parents have gone away for the, let's say, weekend. It's only Tuesday, but it's a long weekend with it being the bank holiday, and they've just gone away today. So it's just me in the house, and I've got plans. I've got one more day left at work, and then I'm off for the weekend as well. And I mean, the main plan that I've got really is reading, and I'm on some live shows for the next couple of days. And I think some on Saturday as well. I'm not sure about Sunday, definitely the next 2 nights anyway. So that'll be good, because I think it'll be good to have a bit of virtual company, because I'm sure you're sick of me sort of talking about not being at my best at the minute, but the last like few days have been really difficult. So I'm looking forward to company tomorrow. But yeah, I'm not going to go into any of that right now. I don't even know why I'm talking to you about it now, but sometimes you just need to say things. Right, I'm going to go.
There you go.
Hello. It is Wednesday evening. Technically, it's not. It's Thursday morning. It's like 12:30 at night. MARVELATHON has started. It is the first day of June. I was hoping to have finished a book by now, and I have not, because I have just been on because I've just been on sprints. We've done kick-off sprints of all the team captains, and alcohol was consumed, and people, particularly Lisa, got just more and more chaotic as the evening went on. And we just had some fun in the sort of backstage part after the sprints had finished that I really wish we were live for, because it would have been fun to have it on camera, and there's no way to like rewind it when you're just in the backstage bit. But yeah, it was a fun evening, definitely a better evening than I had last night, so enjoyed that. I did not sleep much yesterday. I slept like 2 hours last night, so I was getting really tired, but then sprints, especially towards the end, has woke me up, and I'm reading Babel, and I've really got into this book now. It's feeling like it's my favourite book of the year so far, and it's got emotional. I expected it to be emotional because Huang, when in Poppy War, like Poppy War is quite hard hitting, so I expected the emotion, but it just kind of came at a point where I wasn't expecting it, and it broke me a little bit. So not good, but it is good because it means I can fit it for another Marvelathon prompt, because it fits a heartbreak now, which is great. But it feels like I can't really stop reading it now because everything is happening. When I said before that like it felt like the fourth year is where everything's going to ramp up, it definitely was, because from the beginning of the fourth year stuff was going down, and I need to know what happens. So I'm thinking it's going to take me like another hour and a half maybe to read this final 20%. So I'm going to stay up and finish it, because bank holiday tomorrow, I do not have work. The only thing I actually need to do tomorrow daytime is film my wrap up and my haul and edit my vlog. But the wrap up and the haul can be filmed later on in the day. The vlog needs to be up like fairly early on. I mean, the vlog should have been up today, but I just decided not to edit. So realistically, I don't have to stick to the usual schedule if I don't want to. But yeah, I can get those things done. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm not awake like early morning, but also knowing me, I probably will be anyway. Right, I'm rambling. I'm going to go and get back to this book. Watch, I'm going to go and listen to the voice note from Lisa that's just popped up on my screen, which should be interesting. But I'm going to go and read my book, and I'll probably get back to you in the morning with thoughts, unless I have sort of immediate thoughts at the end of it that I need to share. Hello, it is Thursday. I'm not going to lie, it's very late on Thursday, considering that I have been in the house doing not much all day, so I could have really just picked up a camera, but I didn't like make a move to get dressed until about 4 p.m. I went in the shower, hence why my hair looks like this, and gave myself a kickstart to actually like make myself look semi-human, because I'm posting sprints tonight. But I again did not sleep very well, so I've kind of just spent the day quite chilled. I mean, I've done stuff. I have finished 2 books, and I edited and uploaded my vlog, which should have gone up yesterday, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, I finished Babel. Let's start with talking about Babel. I gave it 5 stars. I love this book. It is my favourite book that I've read so far this year. It's not going to be a book for everyone. I know this. I'm going to talk about how much I love it, and then people are going to read it and not like it as much. I'm waiting for this to happen in September. But for me, I really loved this book. I've already spoke quite a lot about it, about sort of the academia side of it and all the stuff about linguistics, but I've not really spoke too much about like the actual sort of heart of the book, which is all about colonialism. And to be honest, I don't have sort of coherent thoughts about it at the minute. It was just, all I'm going to say at the minute is just been till I sort of get my thoughts together, which I'll have in my wrap up at the end of June now, is that it had a lot of important things to say. And I think it was all sort of handled really well, with sort of the story itself just being really interesting, then having this sort of magic element to it as well, which was really captivating. The thread lines about colonialism, and then also the academia side of it with linguistics as well. Like, it was all very well balanced, and I am very much looking forward to reading it again, to be honest, when I have a physical copy, because some of the formatting was a little bit off in the e-arc, just because of where the footnotes were. Like, you couldn't see where the end of a page was. Like you'd have a star for a footnote, and it'd be like 3 pages further on, because it was an e-arc and it wasn't as like an actual page like a book is. So sometimes so sometimes it was hard to read the footnotes because you kind of get it said 3 pages later and you'd be like, oh yeah, I forgot that that was a thing that was mentioned. But so I'm looking forward to reading it properly. Also, I think there were some like Chinese characters and things that were discussed and should have been like as images in the e-arc, but it didn't. It just sort of had brackets where they go. So I do want to reread it to get like the proper experience, and also just because I really enjoyed it. So that is one book. The second book which got me a total of 145 points for Marvelathon. I haven't worked out my points for whatever-athon yet. I know that it does fit quite a few prompts for that, but I need to figure out, I need to be strategic and see where it's going to fit to get me a bingo. But I also then read a comic book. I read House of M, which is a Marvel comic. It's kind of an amalgamation. It's X-Men and Avengers, and some of the storyline is a basis for WandaVision, and I really enjoyed this. The thing is that this bind-up is kind of a complete story, but it also sets up a new storyline that is then followed on in, I think the series is called Decimation, and now I've decided that I need to read those. So I'm going to have to hunt those down because my library does not have those ones. So I will have to figure out how to read it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. The only reason it wasn't 5 is that it just took a little bit of time for everyone to kind of get together and actually go and sort of challenge the situation that was happening. But no, I really, really loved it. And I'm glad that I've got quite a lot of comics to read this month, because I do love reading comics, but I haven't read any in a while. And I think this will be a good sort of reason to read some more. Also, to be honest, I haven't actually read that much Marvel. Like, when I have read comics before, like growing up, it's mostly been DC. So it's fun to read Marvel because I enjoy Marvel more as sort of as viewing. Like, I grew up watching Marvel animated shows and then obviously Marvel movies afterwards, and I have read some Marvel comics, but just I definitely read more DC before. So this is a nice reason to read more Marvel, because Marvelathon, obviously. I'm gonna go because I am making food so that I can actually eat something before we start sprints tonight. It is like nearly 6 o'clock, and I shouldn't really drink coffee because I've not been sleeping, but I also am like hitting a wall right now because not been sleeping, and I need to be awake to host sprints, because it's not even like I can kind of hide it's not even like I can just sort of sit there and be quiet, because I actually have to host them and click the comments and things. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go make coffee as well. I'll chat to you guys in a bit. I just realised I forgot to say 2 more things. House of M got me 180 points because it managed to fulfill both my team prompts, because there is heartbreak involved in kind of what the setup of the storyline is, and it has witches in it because Scarlet Witch is one of the main characters, and then also obviously my regular prompts, and then it got some power-ups because it had POC rep because Luke Cage was one of the main characters, and then like Shang-Chi appeared at one point, T'Challa was in it, we had Storm in it, so there was lots. So there was definitely POC rep in there. There was disability rep because Professor X is in this one. He is in a wheelchair. There we go. And also it has my team colour on the front cover because it's red. So that got me a grand total of 180 points. And I also forgot to say that my next read is going to be the e-arc. It's going to be an e-arc I got of Carrie Hope Fletcher's new middle grade, which is called the Double Trouble Society, I think. But it is a middle grade spooky book about witches. So it's perfect. I put a poll up to see what my first read, well, it was supposed to be my first read, but then obviously didn't finish Babel. So I put a poll up for that, and that's kind of what I'm going to do throughout. I'm just going to put a poll up with emoji hints of books and have you pick my next read. I'm obviously going to put it down as ones that I'm actually in the mood to read. But my first one, I put up hints for Nature of Witches, Circe, Double Trouble Society, and what was the other one? And The Monarchs. And then for this next one, I've put up, again, Monarchs, Circe, Nature of Witches. But then I've also added in Payback's a Witch. Basically, I'm doing all my witchy books through the polls. And then, obviously, when I've run out of witchy books, we'll go for other things. But, yeah, we'll see what my next one is. But for now, I'm going to be reading the Double Trouble Society. Hello. It is 4:30 in the morning. It's Thursday night, Friday morning. And I'm just going to sleep because after sprints, it was me, Meg and Liv on sprints, and I think Liv disappeared at like 12:30 or something. We were backstage talking. Liv went to bed about 12:30 and me and Meg ended up staying on there, first talking about musicals, then talking about work, and then we spent like a good hour reading this 1-star review of Strange as a Dreamer that Meg had found a few years ago apparently, and it was an essay and it was the funniest thing I've ever read in my life. So yeah, that's how my evening went. I'm gonna try and sleep. I told you I'm not sleeping very well. This is what's happening. I mean, normally it's because I go to sleep and then I just can't fall asleep or I wake up really early. This one's entirely my own fault, but I had a great night. Hello, I'm still alive. It's Friday afternoon, I, as you saw, went to sleep at like 5 a.m. really by the time I actually got in bed and fell asleep. I then woke up many times throughout the time I was trying to sleep because that's just how my brain works at the minute, and then finally actually woke up at 10. So I think I had like 4 hours sleep, like on and off, which is actually better than what I have been having, so that's a good thing. I was supposed to be going to the cinema today and I woke up with enough time to go and I just couldn't be bothered. Like, I really want to see the film because I'm supposed to be going to see Everything Everywhere all at once, but the thought of going and sitting in a cinema at the minute is just not appealing to me. So I decided that I'm not going to force myself to go when I don't want to. I'm going to stay in and I'm going to finish my book and I'm going to watch Drag Race. And you know what? This actually is good because I've just been going through my prompts for whatever-a-thon, because I'm doing that one as well as MARVELATHon, and this ticks off guilt-free activity because I've been keep saying I'm going to go and see this film and I'm like, do this, and I'm like, you know what, no, I'm going to look after myself instead and I'm going to sit in and watch Drag Race. It's what I want to do. So there we go. I have read since I spoke to you, well, I just didn't really give you thoughts on books yesterday. I'm reading Double Trouble Society by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I am 60% of the way through it. So I'm going to finish that probably in the next like hour or so. It's a really quick read. It is a middle grade. So kind of flying through that. I'm enjoying it, but it's nothing spectacular. Like, I am iffy with middle grades anyway. Like, I do struggle with the thing of like, I know it's not written for me, and I struggle with kind of taking myself out of that and still enjoying it, even though it's obviously written in a way that is catering for a younger audience. So that's why I'm not a massive middle grade reader. But I wanted to read it because, one, it fit prompts, and also because I wanted to read it because it's Carrie Hope Fletcher. The thing is, I think her writing style actually works quite well for middle grade, and the story's not interesting me that much. It doesn't feel like anything particularly new or original. There's still obviously time for twists and things to happen, but it's just these two girls who discover food. Then it's these two girls and they live in a town where there's a legend about a witch, and they kind of end up getting involved in it, and it just feels very straightforward at the minute. Like, there's nothing bad about it, but nothing particularly spectacular either. So we'll see how it goes. But other than that, I don't think there's much to update you on. Did I tell you that I'd finished? I can't even remember. I told you I'd finished Babel. I gave you a view on that. I think I told you I'd read House of M. Yeah, and then I've started Double Trouble Society. Once I have finished reading this, I just can't decide if I'm going to pick up another comic or if I'm just going to go straight onto another book. I think I might just go straight onto another book. I have done a poll to pick my next read, but I was on sprints last night and I sort of complained a little bit because the book that I least wanted to win was winning the poll. Basically, I'd put up emoji hints, and the emojis were, there was a heart, so they were all witchy books. So there was a heart, which meant it was a romance, so it was Payback's a Witch. There was a butterfly, which was for the monarchs. There was some leaves, which was for the nature of witches, and then there was a sort of Grecian urn, which was for Circe. Now, Circe or Discovery of Witches is what I wanted to win. Monarchs is probably the one that I was like least wanting to read right now. I'm going to read it this month. It's on my TBR, but it was one that I was like least interested in right this very second. and that one was winning. So I complained and said, nobody wants me to read Cersei, and then everyone was like, which one is Cersei? We'll go and vote for it. So people went and voted for Cersei for me, and it's actually finished up being a tie. So Cersei and the Monarchs was chosen. So what I'm going to do is make the executive decision to read Cersei next, but then I will read Monarchs afterwards. So that is my next 2 reads already picked out, both picked out by polls, which means I get points for both of them. I'm really excited to read Cersei, so that's why I've decided to pick that one up next, because I've still got sort of the weekend and the house to myself. I thought I've got time to concentrate on that one, and because I'm really excited to read it, I think it's a good time to read it now rather than like reading it as I'm on my way to work and things like that. I think I want to dedicate time to reading this one, so I think it's a good decision. But yeah, that is pretty much everything. I'm going to go and watch Drag Race and finish my book, and I'll probably catch up with you guys later. Hello, I've just filmed my haul for last month, and I need to stop buying books. Right, it is like 9 o'clock at night now, and I have not yet started reading Cersei. So that is what I'm going to go and do. I'm suddenly wide awake. I was very like tired earlier on because I didn't sleep because I haven't slept very much for the last few days. So I was very tired, but this is what tends to happen is I wake up in the evening. So there are sprints starting at 12:30 that I have been invited onto. Basically, Becca and Liv are doing a 24-hour readathon challenge thing for MARVELATHON, and it's officially a Shang-Chi versus Loki thing because they're hosting the sprints, but they have invited the rest of us. They sort of sent the link and said, just jump on when you can. So if I'm still awake at 12:30, which I probably will be at this rate, I probably will jump on there and see what happens. If I'm not going to sleep tonight, I might as well do it on sprints. So we'll see. But right now, I need to put all these books away because I hauled 24, 25, something like that books last month, and I have nowhere to put them. Maybe that's a tomorrow job. Maybe now I've filmed the video, I can just pile them up and then tomorrow can be the job of putting them away, because right now I just want to go and sit and read Cersei. I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Hello. It is Saturday morning. Oh god, I'm so out of it. I can't even remember what day it is. So Becca and Liv are doing a 24-hour readathon. Well, 24-hour reading challenge as part of the readathon. And I wasn't sure if I was going to try and join all of it, but I've not been sleeping great, so I thought I'll just join the 12:30 sprints and I'll see where I go from there. And then once I joined it, I was like, right, I might as well stay now. So I finished an entire book. I read Cersei. I gave it 5 stars. I very much enjoyed it. I do prefer Song of Achilles. I just connected with that story more, I think. But I love Madeline Miller's writing. I've read 3 things by her now with those 2 books in Galatea, and I love them all. So yeah, happy that I've read it. Glad that I got the Pretty Illumicrate versions because I'm justified in getting them now because I really loved both of the books. So that is that. I finished that about, it was just before 6 o'clock. It was just before we finished the first block of sprints. So basically we're doing like 5.5 hours on Liv's channel, a half-hour break, 5.5 hours on Becca's channel, a half-hour break, and then back to Liv's channel again and back to Becca's for the end. So I finished it just before the end of the first sprint, and then I have edited my wrap-up that needs to be going up this afternoon. And now I am starting to read The Monarchs by Danielle Morgan and Cass Page. That right way around. Cass Page and Danielle Morgan. No, by Danielle Page and Cass Morgan. Now I'm reading The Monarchs by Danielle Page and Cass Morgan. I am like 3 chapters in at the minute. I'm listening to the audiobook. But it seems to be okay so far. I think it's going to be similar to the first one. It's an okay book. It's not a all-time favourite, but it's a fun, enjoyable, witchy read. So I'm going to carry on with that. I'm also thinking I'm going to have a nap though in the next sprint. We've only got 15 minutes left of this one, so there's no point in napping now. But I'm thinking maybe do the talky bit and then try and nap in the next 45 minutes because I am very tired. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on how it's going throughout the day. Hello, I'm being very, very bad at updating this vlog today. I'm still on the sprints. We're still doing a 24-hour sprints reading challenge thing. I have put some makeup on to try and make myself look awake, and I feel like it's just making it a little worse because I think it's just going all cakey. I've just put a bit of concealer underneath my eyes. Anyway, I have finished another book. I finished The Monarchs by Danielle Page and Cass Morgan. I keep getting the last names confused. I gave it 4 stars. It's like a low 4 stars. It's a sequel to The Ravens, and it was okay. Like, there was nothing bad about it particularly. It was just not really necessary. I don't think it needed a sequel. But it was fun. It was fine. I've read it now. That's about all I can say about it. So my next book, I've been doing polls to pick everything I'm going to read. So my next book I'm reading is going to be Gay Club by Simon James Green. I mean, this one definitely counts for LGBTQ plus representation, because in case you can't tell, it is very, very queer. This is about an election for the presidency of the LGBTQ plus society at school. And I'm excited because I like this author's books. Well, the more recent ones anyway. I didn't like his first book that I read, which was No I Can't Even. But then I read You're the One That I Want and Heartbreak Boys and loved both of those. So I'm hoping I love this one. And we'll see. It is currently 5:30. We're about to finish up our 3rd set of sprints. Like I said before, we're doing sort of 5.5 hour blocks and then a half-hour break in between. So this is the end of the 2nd block on Liv's channel, and then we'll go back onto Becca's channel afterwards. So yeah, we've got about 2 minutes left of this sprint, and then we'll chat for a little bit, and then we're done. And then we're done for this section, and I'm going to get food. I was going to cook, but I do not have the energy to cook right now, so I'm ordering pizza, which I will do when this talky bit's sort of in the middle of it, so that it comes as we're in the half-hour break. Right, I'm going to go so I can do the talky bit. I'll chat to you guys in a bit. Hello. So we're at the end of the day now. We're on our last sprint. I've given up reading for the day. I'm sort of just moving upstairs and getting ready for bed so that I can go to sleep as soon as these sprints are finished. Because although I've had a great day chatting with Liv and Becca, it's been nice to hang out with them both on sprints all day. I am now very, very tired. I've got a lot of reading done though. I finished 2 books. So I finished Thursday. I finished The Monarchs. I knew the first one was called The Ravens. I couldn't remember the sequel, and it's right in front of me. That's how tired I am. So I finished Thursday, I finished The Monarchs, and I am about 100 pages into Gay Club as well. I don't even know if I told you I was reading this one, but yeah, it's by Simon James Green, and I've liked 2 of his other books before, so I'm hoping I like this one. And so far so good. It's made me laugh out loud quite a few times, so I'm excited to read the rest of this one. I'm on sprints again tomorrow, so I'll probably read a fair amount of it then. But I should be a bit more awake then, so that'll be good. Right now, I need to go back downstairs and get my computer because I brought everything else up. I didn't have enough hands for the computer. And then we'll do a little chatty bit, and then we'll be signing off for the night. So thought I'd just catch you guys up before that so that I can, like I said, literally go straight to sleep as soon as it's finished. Hello, I'm sat here waiting for a video to upload, and I realised that I never actually ended this vlog yesterday. It is now Monday afternoon, and yeah, I thought I'd just come in and tell you guys that this is the end of the video, and what I read this week. Every single week I get to this and I can't remember what I read at the beginning of the week. The beginning of the week was finishing off May, so the beginning of the week will have been A Violent Ends, and then Babel start the month. Then I read House of M, then I read Double Trouble Society, and then I had the 24-hour readathon challenge thing and read Cersei, The Monarchs, and then I'm actually still reading Gay Club at the minute. I've got about 100 pages left. I was going to finish it last night, but I was just too tired because obviously I was awake all of Saturday. I then ended up doing sprints with Becca yesterday. We both kind of regretted that decision because we should have maybe had a break, but I'm going on sprints tonight as well. Actually, as of recording this, I'm going to be on sprints in like 4 hours time, so you know, no rest for the wicked. But yeah, I just thought I would wrap this up. Obviously I've had a pretty good reading week in this vlog. I don't know how much I actually kept up with the vlog, to be honest, because especially on Saturday, being on all the sprints, I just kept forgetting to pick this, like, to do this bit. But yeah, read a lot. Good start to MARVELATHON. Go Team Scarlet Witch. Right, that is pretty much all my brain can handle saying at the minute. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below, and I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.